So everybody stand up. And we don't have any total beginners today, so we might change our plan a little bit. But let's start rolling our ankles while we're thinking about this. So we're definitely going to do a slowish routine. I'll give you guys options to make it more fancy if you want to change directions with your ankle. But we'll still review the basics, I think, in our exercises. Maybe I won't go quite as slow as I had planned since we don't have any total beginners today. Change feet. But this is going to be a 4-week progressive session. So we'll ramp up as we go through the month. And then just so you know, starting in September, the first Saturday of September, we're starting a new session that's going to be 8 weeks. And we'll probably have some new people coming in from adult ed and things like that at that point. Shake out your first leg, shake it from your hip down, all the way down, get all the tension out. And then isolate just the foot and ankle. You're going to stabilize the upper leg and shake that foot and ankle out. Get it nice and loose. Don't control it at all. Good. Now switch to the other side. Shake the whole leg out, nice and loose. And then isolate, stabilize the upper part of the leg, and just shake out the foot and ankle. Get nice and floppy. Good. Shake everything out. We're going to get warmed up, but if you feel the need, like I would encourage you for future classes, if you feel the need to stretch a little bit out, get a little of the, creaks and pops out of your body before you start. Do some stretching before we start. We don't have time for it when we do class, but always a good idea to stretch out before and after, actually. Okay, so we're going to start with nerves. Nerves, just to remind you guys, we are now going to do the opposite of the floppy foot thing, and we're going to learn some control with our foot and ankle. So we're going to start with the right leg, and we're going to keep the whole leg kind of stationary except for the foot and ankle. And we're going to practice just tapping our toe on the ground. So we start with 1, then we go to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we do 3, which I just did. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just to kind of practice getting control, getting your taps nice and even. We do them around in a circle, starting to the front with the right. Then we go to the side, which is not directly to the side. It's a little bit more in front. And then we do it to the back, which you can bend your standing leg so that you can make sure you can make contact with the floor in the back. And again, the back side is not all the way directly in the back. It's a little bit to the side, and then back to your side again. And then we switch to the other side, front, side, back, side. We go through that 1 at a time, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so let's try that. First down, bear sauce. Here we go. 5, 7, 8.
I'm not satisfied. I want the friend that have songs with the house and play. With ship on the side. I don't want hope, shots and bacon. That won't play. My appetite inside. I want the friend that have songs with the house and play. With ship on the side. Got a barrel, music got to eat, and a fella should eat right. I will get you down. I'm gonna feed myself right tonight. I don't want fish right there. You heard what I said. Well, please serve mine fine. I want the green bread sauce with the house and fade, which is hot fire on the side. I don't want this type of taste. It's like to me. Believe me, I'm never satisfied. I want the green bread sauce with the house and fade, which is hot fire on the side. Can't you tell? I'm gonna feel myself right tonight. I don't want this to happen. You heard what I said. Wait a minute, I want to feel that I'm so good and awesome thing. With the love on the side.
All right, good. And I just want to check in because I saw we had somebody else join us. Hi there. I'm gonna unmute you for a second. I just want to check in. Oh, I can't unmute you. There you are. What's your name?
My name's Andrea.
Andrea, hi. Are you the one that I was talking to on Facebook? On a Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Have you done tap before at all?
Not. I've done lots of other styles of dance, but never ever tap. So.
All right, cool. Just wanted to check in. Okay, this is the first of a new session, so we're going to be going pretty slowly and going right back to the basics. So you're all set. All right, good. So let's move on then. So we're going to talk about some vocabulary. Everything in tap, every little tiny move has a name. Just a note about names of things. You go different places, certain things have different names because it's things get handed down from person to person. Names get changed. It's like a little game of telephone with the names of certain moves. So I'm going to call them what I call them. If you look stuff up on the internet, you might find some different variations of certain names. But this will at least give us a common language so that I can talk about steps and you'll know what I'm talking about. So each one of these little names, they're going to get strung together into sequences and patterns, just like a sentence. So we're going to start learning the little different words in the sentence, and then we'll string them all together at the end with a little sequence. So we're going to talk about first steps. Steps are just literally what it sounds like, stepping right underneath your body. And for this, we're going to be on the balls of our feet. So we're only going to be stepping, not making contact with our heel taps, right? So tap shoes, if you're wearing them, you've got a toe tap and a heel tap. Most of the time, we want to be deliberate about which we're making contact with the floor. So for steps, only the ball of your foot. If you put the whole foot down, that's called a stamp. So stamps, using both heel and toe tap at the exact same time. So you don't want to roll it and make two sounds. You want them both to hit at the exact same time. One single sound. And then if we didn't change our weight, so changing our weight would be, my weight's on my left right now. If I take a step, now my weight is on my right. So both steps and stamps, we're changing our weight from the left to the right. If we make contact with the whole foot and we don't change our weight, that is a stomp. So a stomp, we contact with the floor and lift it right back up, but my weight, in this case, is staying on my left side. Same thing on the left. So those are just three, like the three beginner kind of vocabulary things we're going to talk about. Let me give you two more. So here's one where my weight is flat on the floor. If I lift up one toe and bring it back down, where my heels are staying on the ground, and I'm just doing a toe tap on the floor. So you can help this out by keeping bent knees. So one of the things that we try to do when we're tapping is keep a bent knee and our weight is forward a little bit with our upper body a little bit forward over our toes. So if we raise our toes, we can do just a toe tap. And if we keep our foot flat on the floor and just lift a heel, you can just do a heel tap. So we can alternate these: toe, right, left, and then heel, right, left, right toe, right heel, left heel. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can change that the other direction. Start with the left. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So we're gonna put on a song. We're gonna mix up steps, stamps, stomps, heel and toe taps. So it'll just be a follow the leader type of a thing. But let me show you a couple of the ones that we're going to do. So first it'll just be steps, then stamps, and then we'll do 2 stamps and 2 steps. So stamp, stamp, 2 steps, step, step. So the first one's you put your heels down. The second one you don't. Stamp, stamp, step, step. We'll change directions on that. Left, right, left, right. And I usually step forward and back on this a little bit. So the stamps, forward and back with the steps. Make a little V with your feet. Let's see where else. You can mix up stamps and steps. So stamp, step, stamp, step, stamp, or sorry, stomp step, stomp, step, etc. So let's just try it. Let's put on a song and we'll practice mixing some of those things up. And at any time, if you need to ask a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and just shout it out. Here we go. Start with steps. Some brushes. So brush is where your foot is going to start to the back, it's going to swing to the front, and it's going to brush the floor on the way forward. So we're looking for one sound on the way forward, and then you can bring it back without a sound. So brush forward, brush forward, brush forward, brush forward. Try it on the other side. Left leg back, brush forward, 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 forward. We want to make sure when we do a brush that it's making one single short sound and not a slow drag on the floor, right? We want to make one sound nice and clear. as it goes front. We can do the same thing going to the back. So preparing to the front, swing it backwards, make one sound on the way back, silent on the way front. Back, back, back. Good, try it on the other side. Prepare forward, back, back. Good. So we can do these on one side at a time, or we can alternate by adding a step in between. So we brush forward with one foot, we step on that same foot. Change to the other side, brush forward, step, brush forward, step, brush forward, step. Good. If you do it to the backwards, do it backwards, prepare forward, then brush, step on that foot, brush back, step, brush back, step, brush back, step. So every time you prepare, you need to prepare to the front. So you have your foot front, step down. As soon as you step down, you bring the other leg out so that you can bring it back. Yeah, good. Let's try this with music. Nice and slow. First we'll do a few on each side without the step, then we'll add the step.
Oh, we ain't got a barrel.
So just the brushes.
Maybe we're rocking and lonely, but we travel alone, singing a song side by side.
Right here side.
Don't know what's coming to tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we travel the road, sharing our load side by side.
Backwards.
You all kinds of weather, but if the sky should fall, just as long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all.
Left.
Well, they've all had the quarrels and the heartaches. We'll be the same as we started, just traveling along, singing a song side by side.
Good. Just stepping.
We left on in the morning, looking over the hill. I bet you're sure it always has, and it always will.
Backwards.
Well, that's how I feel about someone, and somebody feels about me. We're so in love with each other, and that's the way it's gonna be. Oh, we ain't got a barrel.
All right, so those are brush steps. If we kind of compact those two motions together, it ends up with a flap. So the difference between a brush step and a flap, you can probably see, not only is it more compact, but my energy of my leg is no longer going up and down. Instead, I'm going straight into the floor. I'm using my foot and my ankle to kind of make that brush really small, and then I step immediately down. So, and again, it's called a flap, F-L-A-P. And sometimes we articulate it a lap so that you can kind of hear the two parts of it. So let's try that on the right side. A lap, a lap, a lap. Nice and small. You can still prepare when it's slow though. You can still prepare by bringing the leg up in the back. A lap, a lap, a lap, a lap. Yeah, try it on the other side, left side. A lap, a lap, a lap, a lap. Good. So again, same with what we just did with the brushes. We can alternate these by making that a step on the flap. So we change our weight. So we do a flap on the right, keep your weight on the right. Flap on the left, keep your weight on the left. A lap, a lap, a lap, a lap. Yeah. So So something you want to be careful of when you first start doing this is sometimes the inclination is to, instead of putting your foot down right underneath where that brush was, sometimes people bring it back and try and step backwards from where they are. Instead, I want you to think about doing the brush and the step in the same place so that you're not bringing it up and down again. You're going right into the floor. Brush, all that, all that, all that, all that, all that, all that. Yeah, backwards. Same idea as when we did brush steps. You have to prepare. It can be smaller, but again, you want to step right underneath your body. Brush step, prepare, brush step, prepare, brush step, prepare. All that, all that, all that, all that. So we can do this evenly. We can go all that, all that, all that, all that, or we can do a little swing here. All that, all that, all that. That's usually what we do. Let's try it with the music. Keep it slow. Starting on the right. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just like a rainbow, I can't fade away. My daddy made me more. Everybody but me. You know,
Backwards.
because I only wish I could. I almost got insane. I'm never trying to call the same.
Forwards.
Oh, Papa, look what you're doing. Look what you're doing.
Backwards.
Oh, Papa, you got me rolling. You got me rolling.
Good.
Oh, my.
All right, so I try to stay on my toes on this when I'm just doing plain flaps. I try not to put my heel down. It's hard though sometimes with balance. What I think about when I'm starting to lose my balance is using my center, using my core to kind of engage those muscles and keep myself a little bit forward. So usually what's going to happen is I want to put my heel down, right? If you kind of stay forward a little bit, it helps you to resist that urge to put your heel down. However, the next thing we're going to do is put our heel down on purpose. So if we put our heel down on purpose, it's going to be ball tap, heel, ball tap, heel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we want to make sure that we're putting our heel down deliberately and at the right time. So it's going to be N1, 2, N3, 4, N5, 6, and 7, 8. We can do the same thing going backwards. So prepare to the front. And 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8. So let's try those two things. We'll do plain flaps again, one more time, and then we'll add that heel. And let's do the same.
Money I give you, dreaming that it makes you feel so blue. When you
Starting on the right with plain flaps. 5, 6, backwards. added a flat heel. Well, now we're going to do something else with a flat step, step. So we're going to flap on the right and then step, step. Called flat ball change. Ball change just means 2 steps. So try that flap on the right side, flap right, step, step. Try it on the left. Flap, step, step. This is going to require that you put your weight on that foot that you just did the flap on. So on the right side, put your weight on it, step, step. On the left, put your weight on it, step, step. Again, right, left, right, and left, right, left. Again, right, left, right, left, right, left. So your weight should be, if you took the flap out and you just did step, 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 1, 2, 3. It's the same thing as that. You're just doing a little brush before that first step, okay? Let's try it a few times without the music, starting on the right. 5, 6, 5, 6, here we go. Step, step, step. On the left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good. Let's try going backwards. So same idea as before. Prepare to the front. Left, step, step. Then left. Right, left, right. Left, step, step. Good. All right, let's practice this to a nice slow song and see how it goes. Listen to the tempo. And we'll start on the right side. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try it backwards. That's a first. All right, so let's go back. I hope you guys can hang around a couple more minutes so we can get through everything. But so let's go back and do our shuffle. So shuffle is you're gonna add. I don't know if we're random out to this. We're gonna add the brush forward and the brush back together, and that's gonna make a shuffle. So first brush forward, brush back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. Try it on the other side. Left side, forward, back, forward, back. So we can do shuffles nice and slow with this big brush and a big brush, but we're gonna, when we make it faster and swingier, the motion comes more from your hip. So we're gonna take our foot up and use our hip to go down and up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So the brush becomes a little bit in front of us, and we use our foot and our ankle a little bit more. When it's slow, we have to control it. And when it's faster, we can use the motion of the hip to get some momentum for the toe and have it a little bit more relaxed. So it becomes a little bit more using kind of a floppy ankle to kind of get that feeling. But first let's try nice slow shuffles. We'll try a shuffle step. So we'll just do one on each side. Well, let's do one side at a time. Shuffle, shuffle. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You had plenty money, 1922. You let all the women make a fool of you. Why don't you do right? Like some other men do.
knees. Same side. Good, now let's do one at a time. All set. Good. All right. So we lost a little time there. I just want to make sure we have time to do our routine. So let's move into that right now. Before we do, does anybody have any questions? Are we okay technically and everything? Everything good? Everybody hanging in there? Okay. All right. Good. Okay, so our first thing in the routine, so I try to put what we learned in exercises into routines. And today we're going to start with flap heel. So that was one of the things we did in the beginning, was we added a heel to those flaps. So we're going to do 1 and 2 flap heels, right, left. Here we go. 5, 6. Let's try it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now lap, heel, lap, heel. Try it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now lap, heel, lap, heel. Again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. After that, we're going to do a flat ball change. So that's a right flat, step left, step right. So let's just try that part. Flat ball change. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now lap, ball change. Again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now lap, ball change. One more time with the flat ball change. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right. Yeah, good. Now let's try putting those things together. So flat heel, flat ball change. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Flat, heel, flat, ball change. Yeah, one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Heel, ball change. Guess what? We're going to do the same thing on the left side. So let's try that now. 5, 6, 7, 8. Heel, ball change. Try it again on the left. 5, 6, 7, 8. Heel, ball change. Let's try repeating it. Let's do it 4 times in a row. Right, left, right, left. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we're going to try this with music. And then after we try with music, I'll give you some options. If you want to make this a little more fancy, a little more challenging, if you've been doing this for a while, we'll do that in a second. So let's try this. This is a Dion song, 1960. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6. All right, so it's nice and slow. So if you wanted to, you could add in some extra sounds, right? So if you wanted to do, we didn't do this today, but if you've been doing this a while, you know how to do this already. You could do heel, 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 heel. So a heel, heel instead of a heel on the flat, and 3 ball changes instead of 1. That's up to you. I'm going to do it the basic way so that the beginners can follow me. But if you want to add some extra stuff to make it more challenging, be my guest. One other thing I'm going to say about this is that we're going to try and use our upper body at the same time. So in this case, I'm swinging my arms. So in opposition to my feet, when my right leg goes, my left arm is going to come across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can even tap on 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another added thing you can do. All right, let's try this again with the music. If you want to add the options, add the options. If not, I'll be doing the basic version. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, checking in. Uh-oh. My internet is unstable. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm switching my Wi-Fi. Hopefully I'll stay connected here. This happened Wednesday. I had an issue with the Wi-Fi too, and I thought it was just because Ray was watching hockey on the same Wi-Fi. But it appears the problem is more than that, and I'll probably be hardwired for the next class. Okay, can you still hear me and see me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right, any questions on that first section?
Nope. Nope.
No? Anybody? Okay. Then let's try the next part. So the next part, we're going to do some shuffles. So we ended up with flat ball change on the left. Flat ball change. Your right leg should be free, even if you were doing the fancy version. Your right leg is still free. So we're going to do shuffle, step, step, step. 1 shuffle on the right, and then 3 steps. Shuffle, step, step, step. Then on the left side, shuffle, step, step, step. Just those 2. Okay, let's try that on the right side first. 5, 6, 7, 8. Shuffle, step, step, step. Now left, shuffle, step, step, step. Okay, we're going to try and do this up and down version of the shuffle. So not too swingy. Shuffle, step, step, step. Let's try that. Both of them together. 5, 6, 5, 6. Here we go. Shuffle, step, step, step. Shuffle, step, step, step. One more time. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shuffle, step, step, step. Shuffle, step, step, step. Nice. All right. Let's do this. Let's do our last section of the beginning part. Tap, heel, a tap, ball, change, then the shuffle. So we're going to start with the left flat heel. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tap, heel, tap, heel. position. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Heel, heel, all okay. Now shuffle. Shuffle, step, step, step. Good. Let's try adding that on with the music. 5, 6, 5, 6, So a paddle turn is any time you use one leg to kind of paddle yourself around in a circle. So we're going to take our right foot in this, at this time, we're going to take it out and put it kind of in the front of us and use that to turn us to the side. And as we do this in tap, you lift up your heel, right, left, and you're going to take a heel down after your pivot. So pivot, heel, pivot, heel, pivot, heel. Try it a little bit. Right, left, right, left, right, left. So the idea being that your standing leg, in this case the left leg, is going to stay planted on the floor. The ball of the foot is going to do the pivoting, and your heel ultimately comes up as you paddle around. Let's try it to the other side too. So if you put your weight now on your right foot, take your left leg. Now your left leg is going to do the paddling. Take your left leg out in front of you. Now you're going to be turning towards your right, paddling with your left leg. Your heel on your right foot is coming up, and you're pivoting on the ball of your right foot. Good. Does this make sense to everybody? I'm going to unmute you for a second. Everybody with me on this? Yes. Okay. So we're going to do, I believe it's 8 counts. So we go, starting with our right foot paddling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 counts. Well, we're going to end on 7. We're going to step on the right foot on 7 so that our left leg is free. So let's try that, starting with our right leg paddling on 1. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to make sure our weight is on our right on 7, because guess what? We're going to start the whole thing again on our left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After that. So at the end of the second time through, when we get to our shuffle, step, 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 shuffle, step, 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 our left leg is free to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's try that paddle on the left leg. Weights on the right. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Paddle, step, paddle, heel, step. Let's do that again. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Paddle, 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 step. Yeah, good. All right, there's just a tiny little bit. If anybody has to leave right at 11, I totally get it. But we're gonna do it a couple times with music, and then I'm gonna add that little piece on the end so that you can do the whole routine, because it's much more satisfying when you can do the whole thing. Does anybody have any questions so far before we try it with music?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, let's try it then. Let's do both sides, starting with the right side. Second time through starts on the left. Here we go. 5, 6, 5. Good. So on those paddles, if you want to use your hips a little bit and use those to get yourself around, I totally encourage that. Let's try it again. Here we go. 5, 6, 5. All right, let's do the last part. So this part is super simple. We're going to do 4 heel steps, which we didn't do in exercises, but heel digs, you're just going to take your heel and dig it into the floor out in front of you. So if we do a heel step, heel step, heel step, heel step, heel step, and then we're going to do a toe step in the back. So we're going to take our toe straight down into the floor, toe, step, toe, step, toe, step, toe, step. So 4 and 4. Let's try that. 5, starting on the right. 5, 6, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now toe, 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 toe. After that, we have 2 stomps. On the right, we have stomp, stomp, and then 4 twists. So twist, 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 twist. So starting on the right. So when I'm twisting, I'm stepping and I'm twisting towards that side. Twist, twist, twist. Make sure your knees are bent so that you have a little bend in your legs, and you're going to use your hips to swivel from side to side. So once again, the pattern goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so at the end there, you're going to hear it goes with the music. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do this last section one more time all together, starting from the heel steps. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know what? Hold on one second. I think I'm forgetting a section here. Just want to make sure. Yeah, you know what? There's actually, it goes 4 heels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then toes. We do heels one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the stomp. I knew it didn't add up. It wasn't enough. So 4 heels, 4 toes, 4 heels. Then you do the stomps. Let's try it all together. 5, 6, 5, 6, 4 heels. 1, 2, 3. Now toes. Heels again. Now stomps. Stomp, stomp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, good. And then after that, guess what? We do the whole thing one more time, just on the first side. So starting on the right leg, we're going to repeat from the beginning. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's try with the music. Maybe it'll make sense when you see how it fits. Here we go. 5, 6, 5, 6. So I'm gonna go one more time if anybody can stay to do that. But before we do, does anybody have any questions, especially the newbies? Anybody have anything that's unclear?
Do the new folks know that it's posted?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, thank you. So yeah, I do post the video of the whole class, which today, hopefully, I will get both halves. I know on Wednesday when I crashed, I didn't get the second half, but I think I made sure I recorded this time. So yeah, you'll get the whole song or the whole routine and then the whole class. Yeah, and if the kiddos want to take the class next time, that's totally cool. All right, let's try it one more time. And what I'm going to do for the recording is in the beginning, when there are the two sections, one that starts on the right and one that starts on the left, when we do the left, I'm going to try and do the more advanced options so that it's on the video. And if you want to do the basic version, that's totally fine too. All right, so you do you, and let's try it.